Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. I appreciate it. I really do. I sure hope everybody's had a great week, and I hope you didn't get cooked with all the heat. That's been out there. 100-degree weather here is hot, and probably where you're at, it's even just as hot or hotter. Uh, Stay out of the sun. Stay out of the heat. Make sure you're cool. Uh, some of the things I just wanted to kind of maybe touch base on here just a little bit is how to harden your house for SHtF. And there are some things you can do, especially if you're not going to be one of these folks that bug out and go somewhere else, or you have a bunker somewhere, hidden somewhere. If you just get your house, hopefully you do have a basement because you really need to fortify a basement. Nobody wants to live in a basement for any real length of time, but if you had to, you should have it ready so that you can. If in the likely event that we would have a nuclear attack or a chemical attack, you would probably most likely want to be in your basement, where you can fortify it, seal it, have access to outside air. And one way you do that would be to have pipe going into your basement. You would send it outside. You'd have the curl, right, to go around where the entrance of the air is facing down, so everything that comes down won't go up in it, right? That's how you do that. Use the elbow, I guess you call it. But other things to do for your house, and one thing you want to do was number one thing you want to do is assess and prioritize all your vulnerabilities, which means you walk around your house, you check out things, you check out your windows, you check out if you have large, big glass windows, which is definitely a weak area. You want to make sure your fencing doesn't have holes where people can crawl under it. Poor lighting. You want to make sure outside's got decent lighting. That's why I use these little motion detected lamps and stuff that go on the outside, the floodlights. You walk through it and boom, you get hit with a couple good heavy duty floodlights. Usually that's enough to scare your basic common criminal away. Now, if you've got diehards during an actual SHtF who's going to be heavily armed and stuff, and they really, really, really want in your place, they're going to probably try. I mean, that's just where they are. But you want to check out visibility. You want to check out blind spots, poor lighting, like I said. You have roof access. Make sure there's no ladders leading up to your roof or second floor. Don't have none of that out. Trellises in check. Your skylighting in your house. Always a good thing if you have skylights in your house to put like this wrought iron gate kind of goes over it. It's like bars, but not the bars in a jail or nothing like that. These nice looking kind, and that's what you would do to your also windows on the ground floor of your house in order to help fortify it. You get those kind, you've seen them. I'm sure you've seen them in somewhere. Some people have them. More towards cities and stuff, they may have them, but they're wrought iron. They're little curly cues. They look pretty nice. And, you just put them up on the outside. They're enough to keep people away. You make sure they're rock solid, bolted in, so they just can't be torn out. But, that's kind of what you do. You fortify the perimeter of your house, If, depending on where you live, have a fence, like a chain link fence, like 6 feet tall, and have access to barbed wire that can go around it on the top, if need be. If you're not in full-blown SHtF, don't go putting the barbed wire up, because if you do, everybody and his brother's uncle is going to say, well, that guy's got something he wants to protect. When it is a full-blown SHtF, it's not going to really make a difference, right? It's not going to matter. If they want to get in there, they're going to try, and if they look at it, and if it's too hard to get into, they'll go to the next guy. It's the way it is. They're targets of opportunity for the most part, unless they know. Say they know you're a prepper, and they know you've got stacks and stacks of food. They may, really want to get in where you're at, which is why you have plenty of this and plenty of people to back that up also. And, you're just going to have to be ready to defend yourself. I mean, it is what it is. But those are some things you do. You want to clear your yard, right? If you got stuff in your yard that could be used, if somebody came up on your yard and they dropped behind it and used it as a barrier between, you and them, and say they're shooting and doing stuff like that, you don't want to know that out in your yard. You don't want anything like that at all. Cameras, whether they're dummies or real ones. And these days you can get a real camera, probably cheaper than you can buy a dummy camera. So you'd be foolish to put up a dummy camera. Although they're also pretty good. They light up, and somebody comes walking up, say at night, and all of a sudden the little light comes on the camera, and they know that it's a camera. The odds are they're going to go somewhere else. I would still have real cameras by all means. I wouldn't trust something like that. But that's what you do. You make sure your lighting out, is sensored activated, your floodlights on each corner of your house, to where if somebody walks up also, the camera comes on, a real one, and then the floodlights come on, real floodlights, right? They're going to leave. Most likely they're going to leave. You're going to scare them. They're going to get the heck out of Dodge, because you could be waiting. You could set up a recording. I got a recording that says that, if they set something off, somebody set something off. I said, this is being recorded. Local law enforcement has been notified, and I'm standing ready. And that's all I have to know, and you can broadcast that, it's kind of neat. But secure your interior, keep your storage supplies locked, and hidden areas. Like I said earlier, don't let nobody know you have what you have unless they're the ones who's going to probably be with you during this time of crisis. You just don't want everybody to know. Like I said, have noise, have loud alarms to go off. A louder alarm will definitely deter a casual intruder, for sure, okay? And like I said, instant security film on your windows, and how that would also work. It would keep the light inside, so it wouldn't be showing outside, but it would also work if you had a nuclear event. It would keep the radiation out. It just would. It would all fall to the ground. The fallout wouldn't come in because it just doesn't do that. So it's good to have. And you can seal your windows, seal all of them, seal all the accesses inside during that particular time for the first good 100 hours. And then you may have to stay inside for 100 days. But, hey, better to be alive, right? Safe and sorry. So use defensive tactics, During an SHtF, you want to be not alone. You don't want everybody sleep at the same time. You want to have somebody like on guard duty, okay? Signage, post no trespassing. That also helps to deter your casual intruders. Like I said, the loud alarms will startle an intruder, and they'll bug out and they'll go somewhere else. These are just a few things, and I said I'm reading these things. When I was talking about the hollow doors, replace them with solid core steel doors if you got them, heavy duty, with deadbolts and strike plates. If you don't know what a strike plate is, strike plate goes on the floor in front of your door. You slide a big hunk of steel in there. They kick that door, boom, it's going to hit that plate. It ain't going nowhere. If you're by chance sleeping and that happens, they're just not going to come in there, especially if you got a rock solid door. These hollow doors, they'll go right through it. But that's why you change those things. So just in saying, keep everything a secret. Everything you do, try not to make it that noticeable, to everybody else, and don't tell everybody else what you're doing, and don't tell people, like if they're friends, it's fine. But if they're not the friends you're going to have in your place, because everybody has friends that you may not necessarily want in your homestead, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what you do. There's just a few things. Sandbags, you get a bunch of sand, put them out back, get a bunch of sandbags. And if you have windows like me, because I have one-story house, so I would put on the inside, especially when I know when it's all coming, right? All going apart. It's all falling apart. I would stack sandbags, up to about maybe belly high, so I can have something, because the sandbag will stop a bullet pretty darn easy. And put them on the inside of all your ground floor windows, especially your bigger ones. Why not? Well, can't go wrong. So those are just a few little things that you can do. Like I said, fortify your fencing. I've got reinforced privacy fencing. Not the best in the world to have, but for where I'm at and where I live, that's probably the best I can do, But you check all your areas and the grass areas, and say if you live on a farm or homestead, you make sure you have, I hate to use the word kill zone, but you make sure you have a kill zone, which is maybe 50 yards at least, out, or more if you can. And that's just a few things, you just take care of your house. You get the sheeting for your windows. You have the sandbags for the inside, for protection. You make sure all your doors are steel doors, for especially outside doors. You got major deadbolts. There's also a thing you can do with the lock that goes in, when you close the door and you got the latch. Take the little screws out and drill these long screws in, because normally they're only about that long in the actual lock that you have. But get them big long screws. It'll definitely keep it from being just kicked open. But with that bar on the ground, kick bar, man, they won't come through that for a few whiles, but you'll be ready for them when that happens. So, all right, then, I hope this helps just a wee bit. There's all kinds of things you can do. I'm sure you know a lot more, but that's just a couple of things to do. So, all right, then, hey, look, until next time, it's nothing but love for you. I really mean it. Thanks for stopping by. Cover your six out there. We're in for some dark times. It's coming. If these communists ever take charge, we're going to be in for a world of deep kimchi. So, plan for that and hope for the best. But the best thing one can do is get the frack out there and vote. Come see us. I know the system's not the best in the world, and it's probably a somewhat busted system. But if you don't vote, you can rest assured those guys are going to vote, and all the people that support them. So just saying, get out and do the vote. Overwhelm the voting system, and we can maybe keep them away for, another 8-10 years, maybe. We'll see. So, all right, then. Hey, look, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate y'all being here, and we'll talk to you later.